The 12th Conference on National Scenic Historic Trails is brought to you by the Bureau of Land Management, the National Park Service, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the National Forest Service.
Critical to the future of not only trail organizations, but public lands in general. So I hope to have some creative discussion here coming up soon. The panel discussion is going to be broken into two sections, as I've mentioned before. First, the panel members are going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about how it is that they got here, what is it that they've been up to so that they were lucky enough to become scholarship recipients. I've also asked that they kind of give a brief description, because sometimes that can ramble, we've had that opportunity, of what that first natural engagement was for them. When was that moment that you stuck your toe in the dirt and said, I like it here, you know? And I want them to not only share that experience, but also give us perhaps a single example of how organizations like the National Historic Scenic Trails can recreate that experience for children so that we can really foster that next generation. So panelists, you're going to have about 10 minutes each, and I'm just going to kind of pass this along, and I'll keep tabs on time and give you a little wink from the corner when it's getting to the end of that. And you each have the discussion points. You don't have to say, this is my question, here's my answer, just let it flow. So here we go, first panelist. Oh, no, that would be you.
Oh, no. If you can't hear me, just let me know, and I'll use that thing. But let's take a little note from Jim over there who did the talk at lunch. My name is Dustin Rothenberg, and I'm from Jersey. I think you saw the nice picture of Cape May on the board out there. Basically, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my parents. Without their constant nagging and guilt, I would not want to have left home. I would have stayed there and lived with them until I was 30. Yeah, really. My parents have been really instrumental in my love of the outdoors and my love of travel in general. Growing up, every summer we would just take our RV and we'd just cross country wherever. You know, we'd go cross country. We went down south, up north, and we visit. We visit our national parks, national forests. We visit our cities. Just everything that makes America America. You know. And that's how I started to get involved. And, you know, go to the parks and we'd see the Junior Ranger program. That was my favorite thing to do at every park that I went to. So prominently displayed in my room at home is my 5 badges from every state park or national park that I'm a Junior Ranger at, including Yellowstone, Grand Canyon. That's the big one. But, so that kind of got me engaged, and through that, I remember a time in Utah when we were hiking on the trail with my parents, and my mom goes to pick up this rock, you know, she wants to take this rock, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's against the law, you know, this is for everybody. So that's my earliest memory of Leave No Trace. Before I ever knew what it was. So I started with that, and then got older, you know, New Jersey, mall movies and bowling. I couldn't get higher than a 165 in bowling, so I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. And in college, I started doing the Outdoor Pursuits program, which many colleges have. And I went on a few backpacking trips, and I was like, all right, this is cool, you know. And then my experiences traveling abroad also kind of helped shape my love of the outdoors. I did half of the National Trail in Israel. I hiked about 3.5 weeks. In Spain, too. I hiked 7 days on El Camino de Santiago, if anyone's familiar. It's a Catholic pilgrimage. And so I just started meeting the right people, the people that really, they love what they do. They love traveling. They love the freedom of it. Nothing you can't do in their minds. You can do anything you want, no matter how hard it will be or whatever. It's a totally different crowd than what I was used to growing up. And so that's what really got me inspired. And inspired me so much that I dropped out of college a semester later. You know, I had a little traveling itch right there in the feet. And what am I going to do with my life? You know? So I kept traveling. My goal was to try to find a place that I wanted to be and something that I wanted to do. So I'd talk to people and, you know, what do you do? What do you do? And that's how it started. I never quite found it, but I just kept going. And finally, I remember I kept in the back of my head seeing the SCA. I saw a poster in my college career center. About a year later, I was like, that looks cool. check that out. And so I did. And I found the New Hampshire Conservation Corps, which Annie was my fellow Corps member. And it was the most amazing thing in the world to me. At the same time, I never thought I would do trails again.
It's tough work.
Yeah, mosquitoes, the black flies, the deer flies, everything. But, I mean, it was just amazing. They really gave youth the opportunity, they gave us the opportunity to problem solve and to do this. I mean, our first hitch, we built a 44-foot bridge, and none of us had ever done trails before. You know, and it's a success. And I think actually Bart Smith, who did the Monadnock, the New England Scenic Trail, he might have hiked that bridge. I don't know, I gotta talk to him. And so yeah, so through like they got us to problem solve and to figure out solutions without having to constantly go to them. And I mean that's what I think we're capable of. I think some of us need to be engaged more than others. But when we are engaged, I feel like we can do this. We don't need help. We can make decisions. We just have to think a little bit harder about it. Let's see where.
That's my handwriting.
No, it's not yours, man. So yeah, so I did that, and 10 months later, graduated, and I did an internship again through the SCA at Golden Gate National Recreation Area, which I've also had the pleasure of serving with Andrea Franklin over here. And so I did it for another 4 months, just do another season, different type of trails, but I'm like really getting into it now. And then I signed up for the Montana Conservation Corps as a crew leader. So this was a real challenge to me, because before I'd just been a crew member, you know, when we were in Golden Gate, we were just pushing dirt all day. It's not really a challenging job, but this crew leader position blew my mind. I mean, it was the most difficult experience of my life. I can tell you that truthfully, honestly. I mean, challenged every emotion, every physical aspect of my body, like everything. And despite it all, despite all my complaining and kvetching and everything, I loved it. You know, so I got so many benefits, so many rewards from it, that it just kept me going. And so now I'm working full-time at Golden Gate National Recreation Area on a trail crew as an assistant leader, and it's my pleasure to train, because we have 2 interns on our crew. It's a leader, it's an assistant leader, and it's 2 interns. And so every 6 months we get new interns, and it's our job to train them and work with them. And that's what I love most about being a crew leader, seeing them grow and seeing them figure things out and starting to come up with solutions. I mean, I got one right now that might as well be paying him, you know, he's taking my job in the future. So that's how I'm here. That's how I'm here, through the SCA, through AmeriCorps. They gave me the opportunity to be part of this. And yeah, so if my recommendation, or I guess my recommendation for the future, I see it in AmeriCorps. I see it in all the volunteer programs and all the conservation corps and all the internships, the private or the individual internships. I see that as the solution. I see that as the beginning of getting the youth engaged in service, because it's then that they learn, in my opinion, how to problem solve, they're doing what y'all are doing, basically. You just give them that opportunity to do it. You challenge them, and once they're forced to, once you dive in like that, you know, you can only sink or swim. I don't know who wants to sink. So that would be my solution, is reaching out to AmeriCorps, getting the funding, getting the grants, get volunteers, get AmeriCorps interns into your positions, and challenge them. Make them do the work that they're going to have to do when they get a real job. I mean, that's the way I've learned the past 4 years. I don't think college can ever trump that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got my 2 minutes. Okay. So that's what I think. I think it's yeah, because I'm going to see the flow on that note. So thank you very much.
Pass the mic, the pseudo mic that I'm not using. to Annie here. I just wanted to pull out a catchphrase from what Dustin was discussing, and he said, meeting the right people made that experience for him. We talk so often about programs and how are we going to make this happen. There's all this money involved with staff and liability, and it's just, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. When for him, it could have been a conversation with someone that just really inspired him to go check out that bug and see what it does, because it's not going to eat you alive. You know, like there's a lot of fear involved with being in the outdoors, and I see that a lot in our generation. And I think education and simple conversations could really make the difference to a single person and create that opportunity for them. So meeting the right people, and you guys are the right people. So go out there and start talking. I know people feel like kids don't want to listen to you because we've just got so much going on and we're plugged into our iPods, but that's not an accurate statement. Sometimes they look bored, but really it's just because they're embarrassed or they don't know how to participate in that. So start talking because we're listening. So, Annie.
Thank you. First, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that got us out here. It's an awesome experience, and that's really cool that we had the opportunity to be here. I'm Annie Fehrenbach. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I currently go to Humboldt State University in Arcata, Northern California, in the Redwoods. I love it. It's beautiful down there. So basically, how I got here, it's really all thanks to the SCA. They came into my 9th grade biology classroom, a man from the Seattle office, and he had this slideshow, and you know, pretty sunsets and friends laughing. I was sort of like, okay. And then he said, plus, you know, we'll give you $200 for 2 weeks. Okay. Filled out an application, had no idea what I was getting into, and I fell in love with trail work. I'd never done it before, but it was just so much fun. I love just pushing myself as hard as I can physically, you know, and you come back to your campsite and you take off those boots and it's like, oh, you know, the best feeling ever. So I'm sure everyone who's worked on a trail can relate to that. So yeah, I went to Mountaineer for 2 weeks. I came back and said, I love this organization. And I joined the Conservation Leadership Corps, which was a phenomenal program. I did that for 3 years in high school, and really what it was basically throughout the spring we worked up until Earth Day, and all of the students in the Conservation Leadership Corps were in charge of planning this Earth Day, which in Seattle was a huge celebration. Dale Penny, the president of SCA, would come out every year. I've had the mayor of Seattle give a speech and introduce me, so you know, we were in charge of logistics, you know, getting it out to the press, all the media, inviting the people, and, you know, it really gave the students themselves, well, it's the leadership corps, you know, it let us be leaders. And I think that that's a really good way to engage the youth, is to actually give them responsibilities, because they will rise to the occasion. So then, that next summer, I went to Kenai Fjords, Alaska, which, go to Alaska, everybody. It's amazing. And that was for a month, and that was phenomenal as well. I really just fell in love with nature completely, 100% there. That was one of my most life-changing experiences. And the slogan of the SCA, they changed it, but it used to be changing lives through service to nature. And that's what it was. And that really is what the SCA is. And I would encourage it to anyone, and I would encourage you to spread the word about SCA. It's a really phenomenal organization, and I think a lot of people in this room can attest to that. So I went back to Alaska the next summer, then I got an apprentice crew leader position in North Cascades, which was great. You know, I just graduated high school, and I was out there leading high schoolers who are only a few years younger than me. And you know, by the end they were saying, Annie, you're the big sister I never had. And it was just so amazing, you know, to really be able to reach out and touch people like that. And we taught a kid how to swim. It was great. So then, you know, so of course, I couldn't stop there. So that's where I met Dustin, joined the New Hampshire Conservation Corps. And that was great. We actually were on a teaching team together. We taught 8th graders at Hillside Middle School. And
Can you believe that?
it was a challenge. It really was. Every day it was a challenge. But man, it was so much fun. And those kids were great. You know, they give you crap, give it right back. Oh yes. And we had to do a service learning project with all the students at the end, and we built a phenomenal butterfly garden. And Home Depot actually came through and hooked us up with hundreds of dollars worth of materials. So basically,
That's about it for part one of the National Trail Conference. Stay tuned for more on part 2